Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss about code switching and code mixing. So, our first question is, what is code switching? Personally, I think that code switching is a practice to alternate between two or more languages or dialects within the conversation. So, it often depends on the context, the topic, or maybe the people who are involved in this communication. But what do you think? It's my personal point of view. What do you think?
Hi, my name is Derly Piña. First question. Code switching is the art of switching between language or language style with a conversation. It's used by multilingual speakers to express emotions, emphatic ideas, or adapt to different audience and settings.
Okay, so code switching happens when someone changes from one language to another during a conversation, depending on the situation or the speaker's intention. It is usually used to adapt the audience or context.
Code switching is when a person changes between two or more languages or type of speaking in the same conversation. For example, someone might use English and their native language together to express themselves better. This happens often when people speak different languages in daily life.
The second question is, what is code mixing? Yeah, personally, I can understand as code mixing that code mixing refers to blending words or phrases from different languages within a single sentence or conversation, and often unconsciously. So you don't notice this. You can understand why you're doing this, but yeah, it's my personal point of view of this. What do you think?
Code mixing is the use of elements from different languages with the same sentence or phrase. It happens when multilingual speakers blend language for clarity, convenience, or to reflect their cultural background.
I think that code mixing is when a speaker combines words or phrases from different languages in the same sentence. It can happen in places where people speak multiple languages, so it's like they are blending the languages together to express ideas.
Code mixing is when a person uses words or phrases from one language while speaking mostly in another language. For example, someone might speak in English but add words from the native language. It often happens naturally in bilingual or multilingual speakers.
Then we have what's the difference between code mixing and code switching? Well, personally, I think that the main difference is that code switching involves changing languages based on the context, based on the context. But while code mixing blends two languages in the same sentence or phrase, it doesn't depend on the context. It may be part of you, and you don't notice this. So it's a little bit difficult for everyone who is trying to understand or to learn these languages. What do you think?
The main difference is that code switching occurs when speakers will between languages or dialects in different contexts, while code mixing happens when languages are mixed within the same sentence or conversation of blending vocabulary or grammar.
I think that the primary difference between both is that code switching involves shifting languages entirely between sentences, while code mixing involves incorporating elements from multiple languages within the same sentence or phrase.
The main difference between code switching and code mixing is how languages are used. Code switching happens when a person changes from one language to another, usually in full sentences or phrases, based on the situation or topic. In contrast, code mixing occurs when a person mixes words or phrases from one language into another within the same sentence or conversation.
Now, lastly, we're going to explain and give some examples of code switching and code mixing. Yeah, well, as an example of code switching, maybe it could be I'm going to the park, pero necesito descansar primero. So we're switching between two languages, first in English and then Spanish. Then we have the code mixing. So it's a little bit difficult. For example, let's take the bus al centro. So both show how bilingual speakers could adapt these languages to their needs. And this is a little bit difficult to explain, but yeah, when you're switching or mixing these languages, it's a little bit difficult to, to show what you're trying to say to everyone. What do you think? I would like to see your examples.
Code switching occurs when there is more structural change between languages, such as I was talking to my friend and they ran into my mom. Another example would be they went to the party but they weren't very happy. Code mixing involves using words from different languages simultaneously with a sentence like I am really tired today, or also I am going to the movies. Studying this phenomena show how language are interested in a speech independent of the context.
An example of code switching is when people say the documentary was incredible, aunque fue un poco largo. Another example is the class was so boring, but por lo menos ya terminó. For code switching, I talked to my jefe about the problems we had, and he seemed bastante preocupado about it. Another example can be, I'm stressed out about my homework, pero I think I'll feel better después de un café.
The question number 4 is, provide 2 examples of both code switching and code mixing. For code switching, it can be, I was studying and my mom said, ¿terminaste tu tarea? So I answered, no yet. Explanation. The speaker switches from English to Spanish using false sentences in each language based on contents. Another example could be, Maria says, I have a meeting tomorrow, and John responds, oh really? ¿A qué hora? Oh really? What time? In this example, John switches from English to Spanish in the middle of the conversation. Code mixing examples. I need to finish my tarea before dinner. Explanation. The speaker mixes the Spanish word tarea, homework, into an English sentence, combining both languages. Another example could be, Sara says, I need to buy un libro for my class. Here, Sara mixes English and Spanish by using un libro, a put in the middle of the sentence.
And finally, we will give a short conclusion about everything we see in this roundtable. Personally, I think that code switching and code mixing are powerful tools, especially for bilingual communication, because it reflects the cultural and linguistic adaptability of everyone who is trying to learn a different language. What do you think? I would like to see your conclusions.
In conclusion, code switching and code mixing are linguistic phenomena that show how people alternative or combine languages in their speech, while code switching happens between sentences or fragments.
To conclude, I have to say that both code switching and code mixing are natural phenomena and very common nowadays, especially among bilingual speakers. Code switching shows how speakers adapt to different situations, while code mixing reflects how languages can coexist and interact fluidly within a single sentence. All of this shows how flexible can communication be in a multilingual society.
In conclusion, code mixing and code switching happen when people use more than one language in a conversation. Code mixing is mixing words in one sentence, while code switching is changing language during talk. Both are common in multilingual areas.
That's all, I think. Thank you all for being here. So, yeah, goodbye and thanks for watching.